Actually, I did send a couple of TikToks in.
Yeah.
Seamlessly, yeah. But I can't remember if they're any good. I don't know why I sent them in, so they might not be entertaining.
Is anyone going to find out?
I guess I'll start with this one.
I want to play it.
I thought it was really good. I found it really funny. And she's just trying to record a little TikTok, I guess.
It's like the universe does not want her to play it. It's the phone going down as well.
Everything's like really good on it. And then there was this one, and this isn't music related. And I don't know. I guess.
Excuse me, could you please record me for just a second? Yeah, sure. Stop recording me! Oh my god, what? Excuse me.
And I think the only reason I liked it was just the lady being like, "Oh my god, what?" But yeah, those are my TikToks. That's the end. You got anything?
No, my little circle is way off.
What do you mean?
Look at my little circle.
Oh, you shifted since
know,
I jiggled
you think
it.
I was over here?
You shifted since I jiggled it. Anyway, how have you been? How have you been?
I've been alright.
People can't hear you when you stand over there. Good. Roll the intro. Hey-o.
Hey-o.
You weren't on though.
Yeah, I know, but I saw myself.
You were playing with a screen.
I can see.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going alright. Super Bowl happened.
Yeah, Taylor Swift won her first Super Bowl. Is what people are saying.
Just get a ring.
Probably
if
not.
you like it, you should put a ring on it.
Yeah, that was the other one.
Can we just talk about, right? Did you watch the halftime show?
I did. I actually watched the Super Bowl.
Because I'm going to say something, right? And I'll set it up so that it's like, you know, it's not an attack, right?
It can be an attack if you want.
Because I'm fine with Usher, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a massive fan of a couple of his songs when I was younger.
Yeah.
Right? Like Burn.
Burn is one of the best songs ever made.
I mean, it's one of the best songs ever made.
I've said it before. I'll say it again.
I think he performed good. I think he did a good job. I mean, like, there's a debate as to how much they're actually singing, but I think he probably sung more than most people sing at the Super Bowl. It wasn't like a complete lip sync. But it was fine or whatever. His performance was fine, right? But can we just agree that the Super Bowl halftime show is the most embarrassing thing in all of sports?
Yeah, it's really.
It is atrocious. What are they? Who gives a crap? As soon as just before the performance started, right, and Usher came on, and then I heard what I can only describe is the exact same sound you get from like a 1975 concert. And I'm like, who is at the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Who is actually at the Super Bowl?
There's lots of things here to unpack. One, I just want to say, Usher's performance was shite. It was absolutely terrible.
I was trying to be nice. I don't want to attack it.
And here's the thing.
It was
he did sing, right? Because what happens is they play the chorus and he does all of the like...
Yeah, he's
Let it... Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a playback. It's a playback.
I hated it. I thought it was, I think, the worst performance I've seen in a long time. I thought Black Eyed Peas were better. The Weeknd did the weird one, whereas the end of his big... and I didn't like the idea of it, but the performance was all right. Whereas this, I thought, was really bad.
Well, I thought when I say his performance was good, I meant like, I don't know,
You see the roller skate bit?
I hated it.
They were on roller
I hated
skates.
the stupid trumpets. I hated...
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy that's just attacking the Super Bowl halftime show. But who is watching that crap?
Also, the Americans are like, well, it's the biggest. It's not the biggest thing in the world.
We have this conversation every year.
Yeah, it's not the biggest thing in the world. It's the biggest thing in your world.
I don't even think they're in the top 10.
No, they are in watched sporting moments of like the last year. Or like the last 5 years or 10 years. I think it was 8th or 9th was one of the Super Bowls. But like cricket is higher.
The Tour de France.
I don't know the Tour de France.
No, I found this out the other day. It's like the second most watched sport.
Crazy.
It's mental.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's I just don't rate it at all. If you have a band on, maybe have a band on. I don't care. But like,
I don't even think that because there's a lot of conversation recently about bringing something similar to like the Champions League final.
Yeah.
I'm like, get that.
It's like, please
get that as far away from it as possible. They already had something similar in the Europa League final, I think, or in the Europa Cup final, I think last year, they had like a sort of half-time show, but like at the start before the game started.
Yeah,
and it was just weird. It was just, I mean, I preferred that than the half-time show. At least it's like kind of before because it's like separate.
Yeah.
But I just feel like doing it at half-time. Also, if you did that like in the Champions League final or brought it over to the Premier League, God forbid, or like FA Cup final or something, right? Mm-hmm. No one would be watching it anyway because everyone's out getting a pint.
True.
Because like the only people that are going to the FA Cup final are like 90% men, and everyone there is there just for the game. They don't like you. And also, I don't want to be taken out of the.
Well, here's
what
the
if
thing.
I have like
the
craziest first half of sports that has ever happened, and it's like. You're like stressed. It's like you're emotional, and then all of a sudden you got to fucking sit through Beyonce.
Ariana Grande
it comes down on a helicopter or something and does a stupid performance, and then you're just sat there like, what is this? And then you're out of the like. And anyone that is a fan of sports knows what I'm on about. When you're in that place when like nothing else matters on the planet now apart from your sports team.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden you're out of it.
Yeah, I agree. It's terrible.
It. I don't understand it at all. It is the most embarrassing thing in all of sports.
I saw a comparison as well of like the attendance of the event, where it's like there was like 58,000 people.
It's not even the biggest live venue.
People were comparing it to like the third tier playoffs at Wembley, where it was like 79,000 people were there. So I don't know.
That's the third tier of football.
Obviously, you fill a stadium. That's what you do. But it's a weird event.
Because I saw someone else arguing about, but you're just looking at like viewing figures. What about the commercial figures? And I'm like, okay, cool. So more dumb companies put more money into something that not a lot of people watch, like compared to other sports. Yeah. That doesn't mean your sport is bigger or better.
Yeah.
It just means there's more corporation. There's more commercial corporation behind it.
Agreed. Yeah. You could give 2 canvases, one to a famous painter and myself, right? I could work on mine for 20 hours to make the best picture of a face.
What are you painting?
It's a face, actually. It's Bert Kreischer's face. And then the famous artist could just do a line. Theirs is going to be worth more than mine. It doesn't mean it's any better. It's still shit. But there we go.
Yeah.
So Super Bowl was pointless.
It's just a bizarre thing. I did like, though, did you see Kanye West's advert that he put?
I actually didn't.
Oh, you got to bring it up. Put it on YouTube.
I don't know how I missed.
Type in Kanye West Super Bowl commercial. I think this is like the best thing I've seen. It's definitely the best commercial I've seen.
Okay. Is it this?
It won't look I can't see because you never have it on
GoDaddy.
But
yeah, I don't have it on the screen because I'm loading it. You idiot! You always say that. God, I hate your guts.
Look like an advert in the thumbnail.
Also, I guess Verizon splashed out a report of $30 million to have Beyonce in their Super Bowl commercial.
Well, and just the context, I think a Super Bowl commercial spot, the 30-second spot, it's the most expensive commercial spot in all of sports, which is weird. Again, I don't know how it works because it's a commercial thing, because there's not as many people watching that as like the World Cup.
Do you know what I think that argument is there, though, is that the viewing figures for the World Cup is higher, but the Super Bowl is a thing about the adverts, so people watch the adverts.
So people.
So I think it's like once a year.
More people watch the adverts after the Super Bowl.
That's what I think.
Like people don't even watch the Super Bowl.
I think these are during as well. These are during the Super Bowl. Obviously, they have different breaks.
Viewing figures for the Super Bowl are even inflated.
I don't know.
So they're not even accurate because because you've just said it. They will also have people that are tuning in to watch the Super Bowl.
No. My point was that people won't not watch the adverts. People intentionally watch the adverts for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but then surely
at other events, people go and make a cup of tea.
Yeah, but people must tune in for the ads.
Possibly, which we're about to do now. So let's check this out.
Hey y'all, this is Gary, and this is my commercial. And since we spent all the money on the commercial spot, we actually didn't spend any money on the actual commercial. But the idea is, I want you to go to Yeezy.com, YEEZY.com, and I'm gonna write it at the bottom of the screen. And I got some shoes, and that's it.
It's really good.
It's good stuff. I love it because it's like, forget about what you think about Kanye West politically or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that is
It's very likeable,
that is so good. I love the fact that it's like, I'm gonna put it on the bottom of the screen. It's not even like
It just
it's
flashes
not
up.
even like a professional text.
No.
It's not even like big. It's literally
He's
like,
on Splice.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's just.
It's so funny.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
And like, he didn't even write, and that's it.
Yeah.
He didn't write anything down. He didn't have a script.
It is good stuff.
That is good. It reminds me of the film The Invention of Lying, the Ricky Gervais film, where like no one can lie. So all of the adverts are just a man stood in front of a white ball, and he's like, "This is Coke. We've not changed the recipe, but there's now a polar bear on the can." Just very like matter of the fact. Yeah, like it. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else from the Super Bowl?
I didn't watch it.
I
didn't. I've tried to watch the Super Bowl before. I just can't. I can't do it. And I'm someone that watches cricket, right?
don't know. American football is a good sport.
I hard disagree.
I don't understand how you could be like.
Hard disagree with you.
I don't understand how you, as a person who's like, I like sport, could like tune in and actually watch a game and not go, okay, I can see that it is exciting.
I think what
That's
I
insane.
don't like about it is the amount of adverts. It's just I can't. It's hard to watch.
I don't know if you've watched one recently though, because watching the Super Bowl, for example, it wasn't that ad heavy. Like probably the same amount as ice hockey.
I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again. But I feel like last time I watched it, there was like a pop out ad every play.
No, I don't think so. But I don't know. I've said it before. I think American football is a good sport if you understand it and watch it. It's fun.
I do understand it. That's the thing as well. Like I've played.
Yeah,
NFL
we've played the games.
Like I know the rules to NFL. I understand it. Not enough to be able to sort of like. I wouldn't be able to sort of like explain to other people the rules and stuff, but I understand it enough to be able to follow it and watch it. I just don't find it entertaining. It's like basketball.
I think it's very...
basketball. I think NFL might be more entertaining than basketball.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think NFL is like the chess of sports. And that's why it's like, it's not this continuous flow. It's every play you're trying to better the person, make a better move. It's all very technical. I think that aspect of it is quite cool.
Do you know what I think as well? I think it might be something to do with NFL fans as well, like American NFL fans, because I think they are insufferable.
Okay.
I think, well, just because the whole like America, we're number one thing with like, oh yeah, Super Bowl's the most watched thing on the planet, or like, yeah, other sports need to sort of be like Super Bowl and all that sort of stuff. I'm like,
did you?
as someone that is like, you know, I'm fairly unbiased in that sort of stuff. I watch football. I like football, but I also watch NHL. I love NHL. And I think there's things that both countries do better than other countries. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like when you speak to like an American NFL fan, it's like the same with NASCAR.
Yeah.
They're just like, nah, you got to do it the way we do it.
I was listening to Two Bears, One Cave, the Tom Segura Kreischer podcast on my way over, and they ran an ad for NASCAR, and it was the Daytona 500, and they're like, the greatest race in the world and the most prestigious race and I'm like, none of this is true. None of this is true.
What are viewing figures for NASCAR?
I bet they're really high.
I don't think it is.
There's a lot of rednecks.
Yeah, but this is the thing though. It's not that high because what's the population of America? Like 350 mil?
Yeah, around it.
Right?
Give or take.
I reckon it's less than half of the population watch NASCAR.
Yeah, probably. That's okay. Well, that still could be
but that
100 million people.
Yeah, but compare that to like even just tennis. is nowhere near.
I am going to look up how many people watch the Daytona 500 because they told me that was the most prestigious. Approximately 8.9 million people in the States.
That is nothing.
So I don't know how many people watch the Carabao Cup final.
I think more people potentially
4 million
watch
Carabao Cup final.
4 million.
Yeah.
And just for context, nobody cares about the Carabao Cup.
No, that's why I did that. The Carabao Cup is a joke. FA Cup final, 8.2 million.
That'll be an average.
More people.
That will be an average though.
More people watch the cars go
Because it
round.
obviously depends who's in the FA Cup final.
Something else happened. If we quickly jump back to the Super Bowl, obviously Kansas City Chiefs won it. Second time in a row. Good for them. Taylor Swift won it. Something happened.
Swift won it.
Something happened during their parade. Did you see that? We can't cover it because YouTube will
I did see it,
flag
but we can't cover it. So I don't know why you're mentioning it.
I'm just... Because it's weird not to
America.
mention it, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, number one country in the world, baby. Messed up. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Taylor Swift.
Can I talk about... This is going to be weird. Can I talk about Jordan Peterson?
I don't know if you can.
Just with you. I had a weird point with Jordan Peterson. I don't know how deep to go into this, but basically I saw a TikTok, and it's a funny TikTok. It's one of those Joe Rogan where they change the voice. Right.
I love those.
They're really good. So it's Joe Rogan. It was when he's talking to Miley Cyrus when he's like, "Your voice is so interesting. It's you just want to sit and
have
listen."
you seen the one where they change it to one of the robots from the Phantom Menace?
No, so I've not seen that. I've seen a bunch though. But this one, it then cut to Jordan Peterson, and they had made his voice high.
Mm-hmm.
And the top comment was someone was like, I actually like Jordan Peterson, but this is funny, right? Harmless comment.
It's not even. Yeah, but I just want to unpack that.
No, let's move on.
You don't need to even put the but. It's fine.
Right,
You're allowed to like people and go,
No.
that was funny. You know?
You're not allowed to like people, right?
Yeah.
Because all of the replies, and they would all have hundreds of likes, be like, change as a person, smiley face, be better. Imagine actually saying, and I replied to one of them being like, because they said, imagine actually liking Jordan Peterson and what that makes you as a person. And I replied to it saying, imagine being so two-dimensional that you're attacking someone for liking someone who has got a very varied pool of work. I don't agree with a lot of what he said.
But this is the problem. Is because people can't separate, right, liking something someone says, right, to liking everything someone says.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It's not that at all. I do agree that that's a thing that happens, but with Jordan Peterson, and I've had so many. If I went onto TikTok on my phone now, I would probably have 30 replies currently, because it's fucking blowing up. There's so many people replying to my comment, and they're attacking me, being like, "Oh, well, you like," and I'm like, my comment was just about the fact that they're attacking someone who has said they like Jordan Peterson. Now, I'll say I've listened to a ton of his work. Some of it I don't agree with. A lot recently I don't agree with, right? He's very religious. I don't agree with his religious takes at all. But he's had some I've listened to hours of talks he's done on men's mental health, suicide prevention, and they're phenomenal. They're important. And people go, "Oh, he says to clean your room," and it's all this trivial stuff. But actually what he's trying to do is reinforce that people are important and people have control of their own destiny, which I think is cool. The issue is no one knows any of that. No one knows that he has hundreds of hours talking about mental health and suicide prevention and helping men feel, comfortable and happy instead of feeling attacked all the time. Instead, it's, okay, everyone, we hate Jordan Peterson now. And those comments showed it. And one, I replied to someone and I was like, they said, all he does is spread bigotry and hate. And I was like, oh, okay. Could you send an example?
They can never. No, you can never, ever, ever get someone to actually respond to you. With
they
an
replied.
example.
They replied saying, actually, it's impossible to find any that aren't. So it'd be easy for." And I was just like,
"No, well,
so you're
okay,
not
well
sending
then send me one.
You're
then.
not sending
so
an
just
example.
Pick one. Pick one thing ever.
There'll be people listening to this now that go, "I hate Jordan Peterson" in their mind, and now this podcast that I'm the one of fucking 30 listeners.
Here's the thing.
But my point is, if that's you, just ask yourself why you hate him.
We'll also grow up as well, though.
But then that's what everyone says. If you say you like Jordan Peterson, it's grow up. What I'll caveat is, I've not listened to him in ages. I went for a really shit time and I started listening to some of his talks and they helped me a lot, right? So people will have that connection with him.
Yeah, but I also think as well, though, and like it kind of alludes to my earlier point, right? There's a bunch of people I like, right? I like Joe Rogan, right?
Sure.
I like Destiny, right? You might not know Destiny. He's like a central left Twitch streamer or like YouTube streamer, right? I like him, right? I don't listen to every single fucking thing they do.
Yeah.
I'm not sat there every day, like, on every word that those two people say. I'm not sat there agreeing with everything they say. I'm not like quoting like their talking points whenever I'm having a conversation with someone, right? There's plenty of things I don't like about Joe Rogan and I don't like about Destiny, right? But I like watching them.
Yeah. I just
it's so stupid.
the only reason I bring it up is I found it interesting. There was one reply as well that was like, and it was replying to me. And again, at no point in this have I said any opinion on Jordan Peterson. I just said that the fact that people are attacking someone who said they liked him. But one of them was like, "Oh, you like a person who preys on impressionable young men like Andrew Tate and since recently now
anyone putting Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. Well, and that's like, okay, you've never ever read into Jordan Peterson at all. You've read some articles. I can't remember what I was going to say now. No, and then the other part of that was them being like, and now every single interview since he had a health issue, he just cries and bawls his eyes out, and that's the man you want to go behind. I'm like, what is wrong with these people?
Also, you can't win, can you? Because what do you hear about non-stop, right? Toxic masculinity.
Oh, I thought it was the tunnels. Yeah.
Right? But then now they're also attacking a man who's crying and be like, oh, is that the kind of man you want to follow? You can't bloody win.
Honestly.
You can't be a masculine male and you can't be a feminine male. What the bloody hell do you want us to do?
I don't know.
Like, Jesus Christ. These people are psychopaths.
No, they're crazy.
But
they're mental.
Here's the other thing, though. I think I sort of had this epiphany a while back, right? It's because TikTok is the only thing I really interact with people now.
Yeah.
I don't ever set out to do anything. But like with you, sometimes I'll see a comment and I'm just like, that comment is so unhinged and hateful.
Yeah.
That I have to reply to it, right? And then you're in a back and forth with some moron, right?
Yeah.
What I've learned is like 80% of these fucking people you're speaking to on TikTok are like 12.
And maybe that's it.
They're 12 years old, right? And they watch some like extreme far left Twitch streamer, right?
Yeah.
I won't name names because I'll get killed, right? And they just religiously follow that person like they're in a cult, right?
Yeah, it's like, tell me what to think.
And they're 12 years old. So then I've like, at some point, there's no point having a back and forth with someone online because they're likely under the age of 18 and don't even have a fully developed brain yet.
I replied to a few comments and then I was like, for every one reply I was getting, I'm getting like 30 or 40 responses. But when I replied to someone as well, either they will not have anything, they'll just be like, okay, done, or they will ignore me saying, okay, what are the examples that you have led you to that conclusion? But people don't even realize what that conversation is, and they go, oh, there's so many though, there's just endless amounts. I'm like, okay, what I'm asking you to do is not regurgitate information you've received from someone else. I'm asking you to look into it. I saw on TikTok there's a video of a professor and one of his students asks him a question about J.K. Rowling. Did you see that?
I haven't.
It's really good. Basically, they ask, and they're like, I just wanted to ask your opinion on the literary works of J.K. Rowling. You know, given that she is obviously really controversial and she has some really bigoted opinions and things like that. And he stops and goes, okay, in this class we do critical thinking, so we unravel our thoughts. It's like, you've just asked me a loaded question. Given that she's this, and it's all framed that way, and then throughout the video, he challenges it and goes, okay, so what is it? She's transphobic. Okay. Why is she transphobic? Oh, well, lots of people say, okay, no. Why is she transphobic to you? And then he goes through and he starts getting the tweets that are the transphobic tweets and he reads them. And then the professor's like, okay, what are your thoughts on that tweet? And okay, that tweet alone isn't okay, cool. And they pull it apart. And then in the conclusion, the guy's like, yeah, I realise now that have said she's a bigot and a transphobe. But actually, if you look in anything she said, you can draw your own conclusions. That's what critical thinking is, and people don't do it now because they just get told, "Oh, this person's been cancelled. We hate them now." which is weird because that's what happened when Shane Gillis got cancelled, because he was supposed to be on Saturday Night Live, and then he's removed because he's too offensive, and now he's crushing it. He's like probably I would say the top stand-up at the moment.
I do like Shane Gillis.
It worked for him.
He's pretty funny.
I keep telling you to watch the goddamn special.
Today.
Today. No excuse. You're putting it on, mister.
Right.
Okay, cool. It's one of the best. I think it's my favourite stand-up I've ever seen. It's really good. And I keep seeing memes now from his stand-up. And I've never seen people do memes that reference stand-up routines. You won't see it, but once you watch it, TikTok will hear on your phone and be like, "Oh, got ya." But yeah,
you shouldn't have mentioned it because I have to watch it now because it will start. Showing me.
Yeah. The only other thing, non-music but related to our show, Indiana show, I want to talk about Indiana Jones. I finished the series of films.
I haven't.
Well,
I started watching the 5th one. I fell asleep.
I don't know.
The context, I wasn't tired.
I
wasn't like
I
wasn't,
said that.
I wasn't
told you
sleepy.
that. No.
I was not sleepy when I started watching it.
Indiana.
I had a coffee to
Yeah.
start with as well.
You went like this.
I got an hour and a half
You
in.
just poured it down.
I got an hour and a half in, and I was like, I am falling asleep. Right, I can't stay awake. I wiggled the mouse, and I was like, what?
So
How is there an hour left? There's an hour left of the film.
I want to say, binging them. And I want to clarify to you and anyone who listened, I love the Indiana Jones films. Okay, I think I was saying like some technical. I said that they're bad films.
Yeah, and I'm not having it. I'm not accepting that
I
at
just
all.
mean that critically, if you sat down and it was a new film, some of the things you would pull out now if it was new.
Yeah, if they
but
came
they
out in
did.
2024,
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
But if they came out in 77 or wherever it was,
84,
84,
I think. A
I'd
couple
probably
years
be like,
before
this
Star Wars,
looks
isn't it?
fine.
Anyway, but I love the films. The 4th, which I thought I hated, I actually think is a really passable Indiana Jones film. It's kind of like the Force Awakens of the Indiana Jones films. It's rebuilding it. I thought it respected the originals. There's some moments in it that are ridiculous.
The ants.
And the nuclear.
Yeah, the nuclear bit of the fridge. I thought the aliens were ridiculous.
The
to be
aliens
perfectly
are
honest.
fucking
They're
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
But Jesus was real in the first film.
And there's something about Shia LaBeouf that just irks me.
But he was pretty good in it as well.
That's personal preference.
I watched the 5th, and similar to you, we got 20 minutes through, and I paused.
I'll tell you exactly where I got to. I remember the last thing I
Okay.
saw.
Yeah.
They were about to go scuba diving. And weirdly, even though I'm assuming they don't have equipment, right? They were like offering if that like the kid wants to come with them. And it wasn't even a joke. They were like, "Do you want to come?" And he's like, "No, I want to stay." He's like, "Are you sure?" And they're like, why haven't you had this conversation a minute ago? You're all bloody ready to go.
That is true.
You're all standing on the edge ready to jump
just
down.
Practically, that's another 20 minutes.
Yeah, what if he says yes? We got to add another 20 minutes to the film.
Here's the thing, and if you've not watched it, right, I will do you a favour.
Don't.
And we will spoil it so you don't, because what
I've
happened
not
is...
seen the end, but I don't care.
No, that's fine. It gets mental, and it might be worth just persevering just so you can get to the end. Because can I spoil it? I'll say 2 words.
What? Okay.
Time travel.
I don't like
time travel.
I don't like it.
Basically, though, we started watching, and 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I had to stop and Google.
Well, do you know what's funny? Can I add to this?
Yeah.
Because you saw this before I saw it.
I
right?
saw
And
the
we
first
spoke-
hour. The first
and
hour I saw
and
before.
You convinced me to watch it, right? You have to watch it.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember saying, yeah, but I've seen adverts and stuff, and I'm just not sure. Like I've seen bits and bobs, but I'm not sure about it. I feel like I would rather have seen like a de-aged Indiana Jones, like maybe like a de-age Harrison Ford, and maybe have like a prequel, like just another adventure, like way back. And then you looked at me and went, I don't know, I don't know,
Mate,
right?
yeah.
But then we left it at that, right? And then I watched it. I watched it. I text you within 5 minutes, being like,
regret
forget everything I said about de-aging Harrison Ford. It looks awful.
I
it looks so bad.
I had to Google, and I spoiled the film a little bit because I was Googling like, how long is this? Because it's long as well. It's like 20 minutes. He's de-aged.
Yeah. Because I
it's
thought,
dreadful.
Here's the thing. I thought maybe this will be fine if it's just like a little flashback, like similar to Indiana
Captain
Jones
America.
and and the Last Crusade.
Yeah.
At the beginning of that film, they do a flashback and they get a kid actor in to play Indiana Jones, and it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it just there's a little bit of expedition and sets up the
and we're
story.
fine with it.
Right, and I'm like, that's fine. And I was like, okay, this looks awful, but maybe if it's just 5 minutes, just a little bit of exposition,
going,
just sets up the film. I'm like, maybe this is fine. I'm like, it never ends.
So bad.
It just went on and on and on. I was like, is this the film?
Yeah, that's my point.
Is this the goddamn film?
I was having to read through Reddit threads.
The thing is, it looks so bad, right? Here's the thing. It's not just the fact that it's bad. There's multiple issues.
It's the worst film I've ever watched. Yeah.
No, I'm just on about the beginning, the de-aging, right?
The de-aging.
One, it just doesn't look right. It does not look right at all. It looks weird, right? Two, it just doesn't work with Harrison Ford's voice now.
True.
Because Harrison Ford is old. He's got an old man's voice.
Yeah.
It's old man Harrison Ford voice. Just with a young Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah,
Weird. And
the body doesn't move properly.
Sprinkling on more weirdness. Yeah, the body doesn't move properly at all. It's weird. I'm like, who were they using? Because it obviously wasn't Harrison Ford, so it was just someone else. It just didn't fit. It didn't work, right? But then two, there's so much CGI happening. Right? Everywhere, right? But because you've got real people, right? And then you've got the
blob of Harrison Ford's face.
The blob of Harrison Ford's face.
Moisturize me.
In with other CGI.
Yeah, it was so bad.
There were points where I was like, is this fully animated?
No, I know.
It looks like a fully animated film. Not even CGI. It looks fully animated.
Honestly, there's a bit where he runs on a train and it's like a
Polar
wide shot. It was look like the Polar Express, but also he runs and it was like a flip book. Do you know when you turn? It's so
bad. It's so bad. Also, who is that character? They just retconned in a character.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, we need the audience to have some sort of emotional bond between Indiana Jones and this past. There's so many people from the past. Just bring someone else back.
And the problem is,
you've already de-aged Harrison Ford. Just go nuts. Just go nuts.
John Palpatine.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
We have Palpatine in. Princess Leia, she's on a bun.
Oh, it's fucking awful.
It's bad.
And then
really bad.
Forget about that. You get past that. You get beyond that, and Harrison Ford's old again. And somehow the film gets even worse.
Yeah. Because I was just waiting
this,
for it.
Shell of a man just walking around.
Also,
I know he's old, but fuck me.
Also, it went to that, and I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. And then you're like, what? It's a typical. What's her name? Is it Kathleen Kennedy?
Yeah.
It's a bit of her move now.
The Force.
And I know
female.
she was obviously involved in all the Indiana Jones films, so I don't want to shit on her too much. But it was that.
Yeah, but I don't think she was involved that much.
No, evidently not. But it's like that. Let's
I think they were like, sure, Kathleen. Okay, good idea.
She's like, I was in the original. Should I take the lead on this? Okay. No, but then it's like, okay, you have this beloved character. Let's make him pathetic. And as that scene was happening, I literally turned to my wife and I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but I'm not into this. If what's about to happen is going to meet a quirky young woman who," and then literally as I was saying it, she was like, she answers the question in his class. And I was like, "Fuck, she's a shit character." But as you said, the problem is as well, it's like, oh, audience, do you know why you love her? And you're like, okay, it's like she's related to the person from when Indiana Jones was young, and you're like, which person? Oh, the one that we just fucking plopped in at the start of the film.
Yeah.
This is Indiana Jones' best friend.
This is the thing. This is the thing. When you retcon in a relationship that the audience is supposed to care about, they don't care about it. You can't force an audience to just magically care about a character, right? Yeah. Just by going, oh, this is why you should do it. You have to build that care, and it doesn't even take long. There are so many films that introduce you to characters, and within 5 minutes, you're like, I'm invested in this character. Yeah. Right? You can just do that. It's called good storytelling. It's called character writing, right? Just fucking write a good character. But then also the other thing is, right, because I know, like, because what I'm about to say, people will be like, yeah, but Harrison Ford's really old, right? Because all of the action scenes just look fucking
horrible.
awful. Like that scene with the horse, like running down the parade.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
There's no scene in this film that looks authentic.
Yeah.
Everything looks
nothing is practical effects.
Weird. Yeah. There's always something happening where you're like, what is happening? What are they doing here?
Yeah.
How have they made it look like this? Right? It's bizarre. But then, because I know people are like, yeah, but Harrison Ford's old. I'm like, okay, Sean Connery was balls old in The Last Crusade, and that doesn't look fucking weird. The action scenes in that are dope. Just have Harrison Ford be Indiana Jones, but play into the fact he's an old man.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to still be doing all these stunts.
The other thing I want to say as well, when we go about CGI, one thing is important to say. All of the films, if you watch the Indiana Jones trilogy,
has CGI.
The CGI is awful in all of them.
Yeah.
Awful. But here's the issue.
It's the practical elements, though.
And this is the thing. It's like, okay.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
When Harrison Ford was doing a lot of those stunts back in the day. And it was real.
No, right, okay.
There's a real man jumping on.
Watch the films, though, because what I'm on about
I'm on about specifically. Do you remember the scene where he's like hanging on to the truck, for example?
Yeah, and he kicks the helmet and breaks his toe.
That's all real. But that's all real.
Yeah.
It's all real.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, there are tricks and stuff.
And this is my point.
But it's real.
This is my point as well, right? Is that it's like there's times when they're like going down the waterfalls, or they're stood at the side.
Yeah, I mean, all of that stuff. Obviously, you're not going to have someone jump
but
off
my
a
point
waterfall.
is, it's watch it again.
It's horrendous. But for the time.
And also, it's because it's like, okay, cool. It's because they're stood on the edge of a mountain. They're obviously not going to do that with all the actors. I get it, right? Just fucking CGI it. And I'm fine with it because they're telling a great story. I'm having fun, right? That's all that matters. But this is like, now we're on a roof. And you're like, no, you're not. You're not on a roof. Everything is fake. Every single part of this is fake. It is so bad. And it's just they haven't used the tool to make it better. They've used the tool to tell the entire story. I think because it's set like older, it's like there's a filter in all of the backgrounds that makes it look shit. And it's like, yeah, but if you were in the 60s, it doesn't have a filter. It just looks like buildings. It's really bad. So check it out. Check out Indiana Jones.
I looked on it. I think it's got a good rating as well.
I don't know how.
I don't understand.
Spunky female lead character.
Awful.
Ruin her legacy again. Tick. That's a 75% minimum there. Here's the thing. It's the worst film I've ever seen.
They bring back everyone as well, right, in this film, for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, they bring back, I can't remember. I feel bad. I can't get the name out.
Mary.
Now. No. Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
Smeagol.
Gimli, the actor that plays Gimli.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name now. I feel ashamed. But they bring him back as well. And I know everyone's old as balls, but I'm just sort of like, there was no need to bring these characters back. Like, he does nothing.
Yeah, I've got nothing. I think, here's the thing. There are films that are worse, right? But they're not trying hard. And that's why Indiana Jones and whatever the fucking film is called, I cannot remember.
Dial of Destiny.
Right, Pick a Destiny.
Better film.
That is a way better film.
If you ask me right now what I'd want to watch.
But here's the thing, because that film is garbage, right? But it's brilliant.
But it's great.
Because it doesn't take itself seriously. Whereas this is like, okay, you have Indiana Jones. This is a big deal. People love this. It was the worst film I've ever seen. And we had the same. I got an hour through. My dog jumped on the sofa, paused it, right? And Netflix was like, you have another hour and a half. And me and my wife looked at each other and we were like, turn it off. And we just turned it off. And we've watched some shocking films. But this one, both of us were like, that is too bad. But then you started watching it and you turned it off. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to watch the end. Time travel. It's insane.
I don't know how you mess it up that bad. You know what it made? Because again, I've already said I'm not a massive Shia LaBeouf fan, apart from in Holes.
Yeah.
Right. Great film. Outside of that, something about Shia LaBeouf just annoys me.
Yeah,
right?
He's annoying. He's an annoying.
I was
human.
like, why did they not bring Shia LaBeouf back?
That scene at the end.
They killed him, didn't they? He's dead.
That scene at the end.
I think that was one of the last things
what? What do you mean?
Because Indiana Jones is
he's
talking
sad about his
he's having
son.
a conversation about what you would do if you could go back in time. And he'd be like, I'd tell my son not to join the war.
Yeah, I
Or, like,
I
go to
tell my
war.
son not to get cancelled from Hollywood so he can make this film. I don't have to deal with this bitch. It was bad.
Just bring him
as
back.
I said,
I was like, why can't... If Shia LaBeouf was on around, this would be a lot easier.
if you watch all 5, right, the 4th is not that bad.
Definitely
The 4th is
it's
not that
way
bad.
better.
It's quite enjoyable. The 4th was quite enjoyable.
This is like what... And I was already a fan of the sequels anyway, right? Talking Star Wars now. Because
Yeah,
I grew up
switched.
with the sequels.
Yeah.
Right? The sequels, one of the first films I went to see in the cinema was like the sequels, right?
I think that's truth. Yeah.
So I grew up with them. They've always had a special place in my heart. But I've always, when I got older, I've always understood that their sequels are bad,
Yeah.
right? But then when I watched the prequels, not the prequels, the
7, 8, 9.
yeah, whatever, right? When I watched them, I'm like, oh no, the sequels are way better than that.
Yeah.
They're way better, and I even much more of an appreciation for the sequels now.
Yeah.
I think it's the same as that.
Yeah.
Dial of Destiny comes out, and then you're like, oh, actually,
Yeah.
whatever that other one's called.
We actually used a real car
the
instead of
Temple of Aliens.
the Crystal Skull.
The Crystal Skull.
Indiana
I'm
Jones and the
that's
Crystal
not
Maze.
That's not actually that bad.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my Indiana Jones cut. But have watched the film, maybe, for a laugh. Maybe, I don't know. It's really bad. It is the worst film I've ever seen, I think.
I just feel like if you want to watch it, just watch fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. Yeah,
great.
start from the top.
It's great.
Do you have any...
And then, sorry, the
no,
other
what?
bit, they kind of try to, even though we've already found out how he's afraid of snakes, right?
Yeah.
They then try and play on the whole eel thing as well. Like there's a bit where there's eels in the water they're about to dive in, and he's like, eels? Right, and I'm like, well, they're not snakes, mate. I don't know what you... Are you afraid of worms as well? Like, what? I don't understand.
He hates spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah, God, get away from me.
It is, yeah. We could have made it better, I think. I think we could have at least...
I think AI could have made it better.
Was it made by AI? That would actually explain loads.
I think AI did the special effects for sure.
Yeah. They thought it was AI, and it was a guy called Al. He's never touched a computer before in his life. He's like, I'll try. Do you have music news? Do you have anything? I can promote mugs. Buy a mug. IAAS. I don't know what's happening here. He's looking at a mug.
I think my handle's about to fall off.
No, it's... Oh my god, it is.
God, I don't know what's happened.
God, you're going to spill coffee all over yourself. Yeah, go to... where'd you go? IndianaShow.com for merch. IAAS Music for reviews, gigs, festival stuff. There's loads. I think...
Occasional review of popular franchises.
Jeez.
Indiana Jones.
God, you should write it up. Yeah, we have a load of gig reviews coming out. I think the Miri, one of our writers, has gone to 3 gigs this week. One was the vaccines. They look pretty cool.
I like the vaccines.
It's just Route 1. It was like a guild hall. They were just fucking playing the music. Yeah, I saw a few of her videos go up on her stories, and I was like, that's how you do it. None of this fucking... You don't need pyrotechnics. You don't need Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, but so check that out at IAASmusic.com. And more. I don't know. Do you have music news?
As you not.
Oh, we can just do songs?
Yep.
Cool. Let's do songs then. We have 3. 2 are from the UK.
Ooh.
Which I'm excited about, because typically we get Americans. The first band is 16 Windsor from London. 16 Windsor.
I hope that's not their like address.
It feels like it might be, right? I think it... Yeah. This is 16 Windsor.
I want to go rap.
From London.
Grime. I want to go grime.
Grime.
Bit of UK grime.
Okay.
I don't think we've had
That's
UK
hilarious. We haven't, have we?
grime.
Not yet.
When I was a young boy, I'd masturbate all day. But now I am much older, the Ford hasn't gone away. I'm a wanker, a big old fucking mess. But I don't give a damn, because my dick it is the best. When all my friends would call me, I never used to have hang. Why would I need to bother when I could touch my wang? I'm a wanker, and I am proud to say that I can wank to any porn, whether straight or gay. I've watched.
I was over there.
I mean, we
What
might
have
as
you
well
got?
just move on. I mean, at first, I
like the art.
was thinking I've got so many feedback to give for this.
So many feedback.
But then I heard the lyrics and I was like, oh, this doesn't need the
it's a
feedback.
comedy song.
It's
No,
just
yeah.
the comedy. It's just a satire.
That's a art.
It's a monkey holding a banana.
Yeah, as a penis. That was The Masturbator by 16 Windsor. Now, I have to...
You didn't tell me the name of that before.
No, I didn't. I saw the name and I was like, this would be a treat. Dangerous game. Could have been cut.
I wouldn't have guessed grime.
I would have. It's really funny. I'll pull the... Well, no, maybe not live. That... I know the person who did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I've seen them perform that live.
Is he a wanker?
He watches this.
Yeah,
And he's
definitely
a
wanker.
yeah. So thank you for that, 16 Windsor. Yeah, it's good stuff. I saw him play it live. It's very like it reminds me of not Billy Connolly, but when Billy Connolly was doing his things, there was like Mick the Master Farter and his name was Bernie, the fastest milkman in the West.
Fastest milkman in the West.
Who was that by
I
though?
don't know, I think that's old.
Oh, that's news. Sorry.
Old.
Can't
Can't play that. We'll get sued.
I don't think we can play Bernie either. Who was that by though?
I don't know.
Fastest-
I think it's old school B.
Benny Hill.
Yeah.
That was Benny Hill. Was that good? I played that on repeat. That's just an advert. Yeah, I had it on my little MP3 player.
I remember the days when you could only have 12 songs.
Yeah, and 3 of them were comedy songs.
Loved a widow, a late cheek, but Ernie got his cocoa there 3 times every week.
Why did I listen to that so much?
It was a great song.
That was there we go, bit of Benny Hill. So our next artist is Zed Arkadia from Houston, Texas. You got a genre guess?
Zed Arkadia.
Arcadia. Zed Arkadia.
Zed Arkadia.
Yeah.
Oh hell! I'm just gonna go. Just rock pop.
Rock pop. Okay.
I knew it.
Whoops! I did a little double click. There we go.
I like it a
Zed
lot.
Arkadia.
I think
Cool,
that's
isn't
like
it?
sick background music for like a YouTube video or like a Twitch stream or something.
It Twitch streamed, didn't it? It felt like an
Well,
outro.
it felt a little bit like Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, yeah, you are right. Can't be a bad thing. Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. I've got nothing.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I always
like that. That would be 100%. If I was like a live streamer or someone, I would definitely be having something like that just on a playlist.
Mhm.
I'd be like, this is the playlist of songs I'm gonna have in the background of my stream.
Yeah.
Like it just sounds cool.
a little waiting,
There's no real feedback. It's just kind of
yeah, chill
got
vibe,
that, got that sick 80s feel. to
chill
it.
vibes, dude.
Bit like Joy Division-y.
Whenever there's instrumental, I am always just waiting for vocals.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm a simple man.
Well, no,
I think I'm too simple.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying it needs vocals. It's obviously
Doesn't need
just
vocals,
like it's
yeah.
obviously instrumental music. But I was also waiting for like a Joy Division type.
Or like a Phil Collins.
No, not Phil Collins. No, you got to have that kind of like robotic-y voice with that.
Okay, fair enough. I
bit
say
of
a
distortion.
lot of Phil Collins songs sounded like that, but with Phil Collins singing.
Maybe.
Lucas JX is our next.
Lucas
from
JX.
Chester.
Chester?
Yep.
In
I
the
hardly
United
know
Kingdom.
her. That one kind of works, doesn't it? Like Chester. Genre, I guess.
What are they called again?
Lucas JX.
Lucas JX.
Yeah.
So it's the JX.
It might be
makes me
Lucas
think-
J, and that's a kiss. Lucas J. Sorry.
Okay, Lucas J. I'm gonna go acoustic folk.
Okay. You definitely didn't look at my screen then when this came up. Right, let's have a look here. Lucas J. Skipping to a bit.
Mommy is calling, my phone is broken, or at least that's what I say. Please do not call me, I will not answer, try again later. Daddy, yeah, never again. Never, ever, ever. Never, ever, ever. Don't call my phone. Don't call, don't call. Been thinking too much about stuff I don't need to. Like who am I and where am I going? It's driving me insane. I think I need some time away, take time away.
Gonna stop it there. Thank you for this mention, Lucas J. I have some feedback.
I want to say I like it.
I like it.
I like the vibe.
Yeah.
I just think, in terms of technical feedback, I think vocally there needs to be a little bit of tightening.
Yeah, so
There's a few just tiny areas where it's slightly out of pitch.
yeah, and that's what I had. What I was gonna say is, for me, the tone of his voice is great.
Oh, it fits perfect.
Like the tone of his voice is
Like,
he's
it
got a
actually
good
sounds
voice.
great. There's just a couple of moments.
Yeah, it felt really loose from a harmony perspective. So like some of it can be when you slide notes, but like there are people that slide notes all the time, but it takes a lot to do that and it stay where it needs to stay and not be out. And then there were parts where it felt like it drifted, not necessarily out of key, but just not really strongly hitting the notes it should have. So yeah, I thought tonally the voice sounds great. It suits the genre he's doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was also going to add as well.
Just a bit more control, I think.
There's a bit there where there was a vocal break, right? And it was really harsh. There was a harsh cut and a harsh start to the vocal break, and it made it sound like there was something missing. Do you know what I mean? Because it was the exact same instrumentals behind, the vocals just cut off, and then you had this I think 2 bars or maybe just a bar where there was nothing, and that sounded a bit weird to me. Like maybe there needs to be something there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel
introduce something over the top.
I think the
just to fill
production,
that space a little
the
bit.
overall production was a little flat in terms of there's no big varying parts in it. But that can happen a lot with this sort of production in music where it is electronic, it is synthesized.
But well, it's like even if in the mix and that break where the vocal break is, even if the something changed there, like the instrumentals went or it faded a bit or something came up on top, or
yeah,
I just feel like there's something. It almost sounded like the vocals actually carried on throughout that whole period, but someone had cut and deleted it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what it just sounded a bit off.
Too non-organic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good though. You've got a cool
I loved
sound.
it. I thought it sounded really unique and cool.
I was just looking. I think they've released more recent music. I think they submitted that last month and have since released more. So I'd be really keen to check out more as well. So definitely let us know if you're happy for us to do that. But yeah, it's a really cool sound. But I think there's just, I mean, it's the same like our band. When I listen to our recordings, I'm like, it's just one step away from where it needs to be. And I think that's the case. So I hope you can take that as it is, which is just a little bit of, if you tweak it, you could be there instead. But yeah, really, really cool sound. Thank you so much for the submission. It's not Lucas JX. I was reading his fucking, for some reason, as the artist name, I've put his Instagram handle.
Right.
It's Lucas J is his name, but his Instagram is Lucas JX. So give him a follow. Send him some love. But there we go. That's podcast, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Big plans for the weekend?
To watch Charlton not win a game again.
Yeah.
Make it 17 games without a win, baby.
It's good stuff.
Oh, no. We've both got outdoor games.
Well, we have.
Stadium series.
We got Stadium Series. Mine is at midnight or 1, I can't
mine's
remember.
at 8.
And yours at 8, so I'm probably more likely to watch yours than mine. Who are you playing?
New York Islanders.
Nice. So it's Islanders, Rangers, and Philly Devils. The old tri-state.
Yeah, try
That works. Let us know how you are. Let us know you're right. Did you get home safe? If you're sat on a train listening to this.
Have a beer.
Oh, I love train beers.
Well, this is something I just asked Joe because I saw a TikTok earlier, and it was about what are the top 5 beers, top 5 pints, and what I mean by as in like
beers.
scenario.
Oh,
Well, no, this was someone's this was someone on the podcast's opinion, and he threw at the top the takeaway beer, right? And I was like, oh, what do you mean? And he was like, and it all of a sudden I was like, I used to do this all the time, but it was like before the days of Uber Eats and Just Eat, right? Because Uber Eats and Just Eat aren't that old, right?
Yeah.
Compared to
Well, wait, can I say what it is? Can I say what it is? Can I guess?
What?
Is it when you're going to get a takeaway and then while you're waiting for your order, you go and have a beer?
It's when you go to the Chinese, you put in your Chinese order, and they go, it'll be 30 minutes.
Like,
and then you hop
like,
next door to
could
the
it
pub.
be 45?
Yeah, you hop next door to the pub and you have a pint while you're waiting.
Yeah. That's a good. That's a good.
That's
beer.
a good pint.
I
And
think
I also
any
threw
public
in,
transport beer.
Well, here's the thing, because I threw in like having a pint on the train is great, but even better than that for me, it's weird, but it's when you're waiting for a train. So bear with me. You get to London Waterloo, right? Because you've just watched the football or whatever you've done.
Other stadiums, other platforms are available.
Right, you've done whatever you're doing out of a city, right? You go to the station and you're like, you look at the board and you're like, oh, I've got 45 minutes until my train.
Yeah, you go get a 4-pack of beers. You pound it.
Or
you
but you go
4.
to a pub though. If there's a pub opposite the station, you go to the pub. That's a good pint.
Yeah, but then you miss your
The only problem is that sometimes that turns into, but there is also another one. In an hour. And then before you know it, they're kicking you out the pub.
That's true.
And it's not even like your local pub. You're just in the middle of nowhere.
Everyone's looking at you like, who the fuck is this? There we go. Let us know your favourite beer scenario.
What's yours though?
I mean, it is. I think it is a train beer.
Yeah, nothing
I
beats
do
a
think
train.
it
It's
is.
just airport beer as well. Those up there.
Oh no! Now you're talking, especially if it's like
It's like 8 a.m.
11. I've had breakfast, but I can get the beers in.
Yeah.
God,
because there's no judgment as well. Because people just assume you're a foreign traveller. They'll be like, oh, he's probably from.
Yeah. Oh, it's probably 11 p.m. at his time.
He's obviously he hasn't slept yet, so technically it's evening for him. He's from Australia.
No, I do like that.
There's no judgment. You're just getting lit.
Yeah.
until they walk up to you and go like, what? And you're like, good morrow, sir. And they're like, oh, he's British.
2 more, please. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm still trying to think, but I've got nothing else really. I had 2 beers last night, right? Because I'm not drinking at the moment. Literally because of my missus and her condition. She's pregnant now, and she's got a baby in her. So I've
Is that public knowledge?
there's a couple of people in the time. I might have to send the messages out before this goes live. Actually, hey, it's a boy. But it means we're not drinking. But it's been a bit of a rough week at work, so I said to her, I was like, I'll get you a bottle of like that, no Secco. I had 2 beers, and those were good beers, but that was because they were like,
in fairness, because
a few month off beers.
The thing is, I like getting drunk, but I also do. If you've not had a beer for ages,
That's a good beer.
having like 2 beers gets you to this weird place.
Yeah.
Whereas you're not really drunk, but
Yeah.
you're like, it's like almost like you're high.
Okay. Yeah.
And you're like, woohoo.
Yeah, you get a little buzz.
Yeah,
I love
man.
that little buzz.
That buzz is great.
Yeah, I was thinking as well. There's a couple of people that
This has just
message
made
for
me-
catch up.
this
No,
has
I want to go.
made me-
Let's go. No.
No, this has made me think about the Bert Kreischer speech. Have you not seen the Bert Kreischer speech where he's on a podcast? Type in quickly, just see if you can find it quick. Bert Kreischer alcohol speech.
Oh God, yeah, no, I think I saw this. He's pissed me off on the last podcast that they're on.
What, Bert Kreischer?
Yeah, because he's saying how over the weekend he's got into chess, right? But the fucking arrogance he has, he thinks he's like an intermediate chess player. He's saying he could take on. He's like, oh yeah, in America. I bet he doesn't have one. He's
like 500. He
started playing chess this weekend, like days before, and he's like, yeah, well, I've been reading a lot about Bobby Fischer and all of these like chess players, and he thinks he's
Bobby
this
Fischer.
shit.
That's like the one chess player that people know.
That's true. What am I doing? Alcohol speech. And no, I'm not going to get it up on the screen yet. You
You love to booze, don't you? You love to drink.
I do.
You booze till you snooze.
Dude, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I will never quit drinking. I will never quit drinking. I will always make sure that I can keep my body healthy enough so that I can always drink. I love seeing a sunrise with a cocktail, seeing a sunset with a cocktail, having friends walk into your house with a bottle of wine, getting on a plane. Can I get you something? Double Jack on the rocks, lots of rocks. I love the moment someone says, hey, we should get a drink, and you're not supposed to. That feeling, it's like a first kiss. You don't get that first kiss kisses when you're married. You get to have those first drinks. At a brunch, someone goes, should we do mimosas? And then the waiter goes, actually, we have bottomless mimosas. And you're like, this is gonna be the best day ever.
Dude, you just hyped me the fuck up. You just hyped me up, bro. That was like a locker room speech.
Yeah.
Dude, can I say as well? That's from Sunday Conversation with, is his name Caleb Presley? I think is the guy. Really funny dude.
Yeah.
He does great videos, but yeah, no, I saw that. It's good stuff. Yeah. At least, I mean, he got in good shape though, Bert Kreischer. So I think he's now back at it and he's pounding beers again.
I feel like that's how you do it, isn't it? You fight through and you get yourself fit, so then you can fall off the wagon again.
True.
Because falling off the wagon is fun.
That's the good part.
That is fun.
No one likes eating their fucking kale.
No.
Anyway, indieanashow.com for t-shirts. There's still a bunch of promotions on, so if you order them, we won't make any money, but you get a cool t-shirt. And IAAS Music for reviews. That's about it, really. Let us know if you want us to cover your music next week.
Ciao.
Ciao.